Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. When people talk about modern United States coins that quietly became fascinating collector items, the 1983 Washington quarter often enters the conversation. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary 25-cent coin that millions of Americans handled during everyday purchases, vending machine transactions, grocery store visits, and countless other activities throughout the year. Yet beneath that ordinary appearance lies a story of history, scarcity in high grades, collector demand, and the possibility of finding examples worth far more than their face value. The Washington Quarter series itself began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first President of the United States. Originally intended as a one-year commemorative issue, the design became so popular that it replaced the standing Liberty Quarter and continued as a regular circulating coin. By 1983, the Washington Quarter had already been a familiar part of American life for more than 50 years. The 1983 quarter was produced during an interesting period in United States coinage history. The early 1980s were marked by economic challenges, inflation concerns, and changing mint policies. One factor that makes 1983 quarters especially interesting to collectors is that the United States Mint did not produce official uncirculated mint sets for either 1982 or 1983. Because collectors could not simply purchase mint sets directly from the mint, many high-quality examples were never preserved. Instead, most entered circulation and experience were through everyday use. The face value of the coin is 25 cents, represented by the denomination $quarter on the reverse. The coin symbol commonly associated with the denomination is the cent sign relationship of 25 cents, often written as 25 cents in pricing and collector references. However, on the coin itself, the denomination appears spelled out rather than using a symbol. The weight of a standard 1983 Washington quarter is 5.67 grams. This weight had been standard since the composition change introduced in the mid-1960s. Prior to 1965, quarters contained 90% silver, but by 1983 they were composed of a copper core covered by outer layers of copper nickel. The composition consists of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel overall, with the outer surfaces displaying the familiar silver-colored appearance despite containing no precious silver. The diameter measures approximately 24.3 millimeters, while the edge contains 119 reeds. These physical specifications help collectors authenticate coins and identify unusual varieties or potential counterfeits. Even small deviations in weight or dimensions can attract attention from specialists searching for minting errors. Looking at the obverse, or front side, collectors see the famous portrait of George Washington facing left. The word Liberty appears above his head, while the motto, "In God We Trust," is displayed to the left. The year 1983 appears beneath the portrait. This design is based on the work of sculptor John Flanagan, whose interpretation of Washington became one of the most recognizable coin portraits in American history. The reverse features an eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows, and framed by olive branches. Above the eagle appears United States of America, while E pluribus unum is displayed near the top center. The denomination $quarter appears along the bottom edge. This reverse design remained a classic symbol of American coinage for decades before the introduction of the state quarters program many years later. The mint marks found on 1983 quarters play an important role in determining value and rarity. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint generally carried no mint mark during this period. Therefore, a 1983 quarter without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. Coins struck at the Denver Mint display a small D mint mark. Proof versions produced at the San Francisco Mint carry an S mint mark. The Philadelphia issue of 1983 became especially noteworthy among collectors because high-grade examples are surprisingly difficult to locate. Since no official mint sets were produced, fewer pristine coins were saved. Many quarters entered circulation almost immediately, suffering contact marks, scratches, and wear. As a result, collectors seeking examples in exceptional condition often face significant competition. The Denver issue tells a similar story. Although large quantities were produced, finding coins with sharp strikes, attractive surfaces, and minimal contact marks can be challenging. This condition rarity has contributed substantially to collector demand over the decades. When discussing mintage figures, millions upon millions of quarters were struck in both Philadelphia and Denver. On paper, such large numbers suggest common coins. However, mintage alone does not determine rarity. Survival rates in top condition often matter more. A coin may have been produced in enormous quantities, but if very few remain in superb condition decades later, collectors can still assign significant premiums. This concept explains why some 1983 quarters worth only face value in worn condition can become surprisingly valuable when preserved in exceptional grades. A heavily circulated example may trade for only a small amount above 25 cents, while a certified high-grade specimen can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on quality and demand. Collectors often use the Sheldon grading scale, ranging from poor 1 to mint state 70. Most 1983 quarters encountered in circulation fall within lower grades because they have experienced years of use. Coins showing strong luster, sharp details, and minimal marks receive higher grades and attract greater interest. One of the most important characteristics specialists examine is strike quality. A sharply struck quarter displays strong details in Washington's hair and clear definition throughout the eagle design. Weakly struck examples may show softness in key areas, reducing collector appeal. Luster also plays a critical role. Original mint luster creates a vibrant cartwheel effect when light moves across the coin surface. Because many 1983 quarters circulated extensively, original luster can be difficult to find. Collectors often pay substantial premiums for coins retaining bright, undisturbed surfaces. As years passed, the reputation of the 1983 quarter continued to grow among numismatists. Coin dealers began noticing that obtaining truly outstanding examples was more difficult than expected. Registry set collectors, who compete to assemble the highest graded collections, further increased demand for top-tier specimens. These collectors often pursue the finest known examples regardless of cost, creating dramatic price differences between ordinary and exceptional coins. By the late 20th century and into the 21st century, auction appearances of premium 1983 quarters started attracting attention. Coins certified in elite mint state grades achieved prices that surprised many casual observers. The phenomenon demonstrated an important lesson in coin collecting. Rarity in condition can sometimes matter more than rarity in production numbers. The proof version struck in San Francisco offers another fascinating chapter. Proof coins are specially manufactured using polished dies and carefully prepared planchets. Their reflective surfaces and sharp details distinguish them from circulation strikes. Although proof 1983's quarters are generally more available in high grades than circulation issues, collectors still seek exceptional examples with deep mirror surfaces and flawless appearance. Many beginners entering the hobby mistakenly assume that every old coin must be valuable. The 1983 quarter teaches a more nuanced lesson. Age alone does not determine value. Instead, factors such as condition, rarity, collector demand, eye appeal, and special varieties combine to influence market prices. Understanding these principles helps collectors make informed decisions when searching through pocket change, coin rolls, or inherited collections. As the years progressed, reports of valuable 1983 quarters appearing in circulation encouraged treasure hunters to examine their coins more closely. Stories emerged of individuals discovering high-grade pieces in old collections, bank rolls, or forgotten coin jars. While most examples remain modest in value, the possibility of finding a premium specimen continues to inspire collectors across the United States and around the world. The market value of a typical circulated 1983 quarter generally remains close to face value, often ranging from 25 cents to a few dollars depending on condition. Uncirculated examples can bring significantly more, especially when certified by major grading services. In the highest grades, values may climb dramatically, reaching levels that many non-collectors would never expect from a modern quarter. As collector interest in the 1983 Washington quarter continued to grow, attention increasingly shifted toward the extraordinary premiums realized by the finest surviving examples. While millions of these coins were struck, the true challenge lies in locating specimens that escape the wear, scratches, bag marks, and circulation damage that affected the overwhelming majority of the mintage. This is why grading becomes so important. A small difference in grade can sometimes mean the difference between a coin worth only a few dollars and one worth hundreds or even thousands. One of the most exciting areas of collecting involves mint errors and varieties. Mint errors occur when something unusual happens during the production process. These mistakes are not intentionally created, yet they often become highly desirable because they are unique reminders of the manufacturing process. Among 1,983 quarters, collectors watch for off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, die breaks, double strikes, and other unusual minting anomalies. Genuine error coins can command substantial premiums depending on the severity and visibility of the error. An off-center strike occurs when the coin blank is not properly aligned between the dies. Part of the design may be missing, creating a dramatic appearance. The greater the percentage of the design that is shifted while still showing the date, the more desirable the error often becomes. Some examples have sold for significant amounts due to their unusual appearance and rarity. Another category involves doubled die varieties. These occur when a die receives multiple impressions during its creation process, producing visible doubling in letters, numbers, or design elements. Collectors carefully inspect inscriptions such as Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date for signs of genuine doubling. While major doubled dies are uncommon, their discovery can dramatically increase collector interest and market value. Die cracks are another fascinating feature. As dies wear from repeated use, small cracks may develop. These cracks transfer raised lines onto the finished coin. Some die cracks are minor and add little value, while dramatic examples can become collectible varieties sought by specialists. Filled dies create another interesting possibility. When grease or debris partially fills portions of a die, certain letters or details may appear weak or missing on the struck coin. These so-called grease strike errors can range from minor curiosities to highly collectible pieces depending on their appearance and rarity. Because of the popularity of error collecting, many individuals examine rolls of quarters hoping to discover something unusual. Most coins show normal production characteristics, but occasionally a genuine error emerges from circulation. Such finds continue to fuel excitement throughout the hobby. Auction records provide some of the most dramatic evidence of the 1983 quarter's potential value. While ordinary circulated examples remain inexpensive, top-grade certified specimens have achieved remarkable prices. Registry collectors competing for the finest collections often bid aggressively when elite examples become available. In some cases, quarters graded near perfection have sold for thousands of dollars. These results demonstrate the enormous difference that condition can make. Market trends over the years reveal an important pattern. Demand for high-grade 1983 quarters remains strong because collectors recognize the challenges involved in locating pristine examples. Unlike some modern issues preserved in large quantities from the beginning, many 1983 quarters entered circulation immediately and accumulated damage. This limited the supply of exceptional survivors and strengthened long-term collector interest. When evaluating a 1983 quarter today, collectors typically begin by identifying the mint mark. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins display a D, and proof issues from San Francisco show an S. Next, they examine overall condition, looking for wear on Washington's hair, cheek, and other high points. They also inspect the reverse for signs of wear on the eagle's feathers and surrounding design elements. Surface preservation is equally important. Coins with original luster, attractive eye appeal, and minimal contact marks generally receive stronger market interest. Cleaning, polishing, or other surface alterations can significantly reduce collector value. For this reason, experienced numismatists usually advise against cleaning coins, even if the intention is to improve appearance. Professional grading services play a major role in today's market. Companies such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company authenticate, grade, and encapsulate coins. Their evaluations provide buyers and sellers with greater confidence regarding authenticity and condition. High-value examples are often certified before being offered for sale. For investors and collectors alike, the 1983 quarter illustrates how modern coins can become surprisingly desirable. Many people assume valuable coins must be centuries old or made from precious metals. Yet the 1983 quarter proves that scarcity and exceptional condition can create substantial premiums even for a copper-nickel circulation coin. Today, a worn 1983 quarter may still be worth only face value or slightly more. A nice uncirculated example can bring a meaningful premium. Exceptionally preserved specimens graded at the highest levels may command hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on certification, eye appeal, rarity, and market demand. Error coins with dramatic and well-documented characteristics can also attract strong prices from specialized collectors. The story of the 1983 Washington quarter is ultimately a reminder that every coin has a journey. Some passed through countless hands, paid for meals, rode in cash registers, and disappeared into circulation. Others were quietly saved, preserved for decades, and eventually recognized as important collector pieces. What appears at first to be an ordinary quarter can, under the right circumstances, become a prized numismatic treasure. And that is what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Hidden among everyday change can be pieces of history waiting to be rediscovered. The 1983 Washington quarter stands as one of the most interesting modern American coins, not because it was made of gold or silver, but because of its unique place in collecting history, its scarcity in top condition, its intriguing error varieties, and its ability to surprise even experienced collectors. The next time you find a quarter in your pocket, take a closer look. It might simply be 25 cents, or it might be a small piece of American history with a story worth far more than its face value. In the world of numismatics, treasures are not always buried underground. Sometimes they are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to notice them.